So apparently obese is a slur now, which is crazy. I didn't even know that.
Alright, so our next patient. Oh, hey, Susan. What appears to be the, problem? Hey there, doctor, mate. You alright? Yeah, I'm fine. How are you, Susan? Doctor, I'm gonna be honest, mate. Not too great. I feel a lot of chest pain, right? And my knees hurt when I walk. Yeah. Okay, well, Susan, the problem with... But that's not all, doctor. Yeah. I run out of breath really easily, and I just feel tired all the time. Yeah, Susan, I think I might know what the problem you're having is. And every doctor I've gone to about this problem has just been really fat-phobic. Always making comments about my weight and my diet, and it's just really insulting. Susan, I think they might be... No, I might be a bit... plus size, but it's got nothing to do with my health. I don't know why they keep bringing it up. One doctor even called me the slur obese. Excuse my language. Wait, the slur obese? What do you mean slur? God, they're all so bigoted and closed-minded. Doctor, I just want a solution to my problem. Can you help me out, please, mate? Yo, you're joking, right?
So...
Hello, lady.
You want to know another example of this, how this has already happened, is retarded. So retarded used to be the word that you would use as the euphemism for a word that was worse. But now we don't use, now retarded is seen as the bad word and people are using neurodivergent instead. Now, guys, I think that if you are using a word that is supposed to mean a lack of mental acuity or awareness or some variation of that, and you're using it in a derogatory way, it doesn't matter what word you're using. That's what I think. I think that people are just looking for a new way to complain about something stupid. The Linus word? Oh, the hard R. Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, Starlight, and Huey. Welcome back to the channel. Or if this just so happens to be your first time here, then... I'm not even gonna say it, okay? You know.
I've never seen this.
And before people go in the comments and say, oh, you sound so different. Why do you sound so different? It's because I got braces, I got grills, okay? That's why I low-key have a little bit of a lisp, alright? Some words...
I had braces whenever I was a kid, from like 8th grade to like 10th grade.
Still kind of hard to pronounce, but to be fair, most of it is faded by now, but it's still
there.
That
way, when my teeth fell out a few years later, they fell straight out rather than on an angle.
Just by a tiny little bit. And if you say you can't hear a difference, then I'm gonna give you flowers, okay? I'm gonna give you roses and dandelions. I was supposed to take a 2-week break off YouTube so my speech could recover, but I had to make this video. This is just retarded. Now, before I go on and on and on, let me just preface this.
You wanna know what I fucking think is funny about this? Is the fact that even this person, like, you don't even have a picture of a fat chick as your profile. Like, you don't want to be that. But you don't even want to pretend to be fat on the internet. Y'all see this?
By saying, I don't have a problem when people complain on the internet. Honestly, I don't. I'm doing it right now. If someone wants to sit down and complain about something, then honestly, I think that's perfectly...
This guy, man. Do you remember whenever this guy, he got caught talking to like a white girl at a fucking, Dr. Umar? Yeah, he got caught talking to a white girl at like a mall or something like that. It was so fucking funny, man. Was that an airport? Yeah.
Fine. Sometimes it's funny, constructive, and actually entertaining. It only becomes a problem when you're crying and whining about something which you yourself can control. It's one thing if I complain about Cocoa Pops tasting like shit because they took the sugar out. I don't know why they did that. But it's different if I'm the CEO of Cocoa Pops complaining about the same thing. Like, do you not see how stupid that would be? You fucking made it, you twat. And similar to that, if you complain about getting made fun of on the internet while you simultaneously...
Oh my fucking god! Who are these people? This is why we used to have those places that you would put them in.
simultaneously act like a retard on the internet, you're a fucking idiot. I don't feel like I'm breaking new grounds here. This shit should be obvious. In conclusion, don't complain about things which you can solve through your own actions, okay?
Yep.
I thought this would be common sense by now, but clearly the internet has reduced all of our IQs by at least 200. And for some reason, I don't feel like it's gonna get any better anytime soon.
It won't.
But easily one of the dumbest communities on the internet is the fucking body positivity, fat liberation, body diversity, plus size. Literally every single other word under the sun other than what they actually are. Obese. You are obese, okay? You're not body liberated, you're not plus size, a fucking large
Well, they
coat
are liberated. They're liberated from being able to fly in an airplane.
at KFC is plus size. You're just fucking obese, man. You can call it whatever you want. It is not gonna change that fact. We've been over this several
Jesus
times.
Christ. Bro, this guy's farming them.
And like I've said in those previous
Yeah, they're gonna die of old age at 35. Yeah, guys, I've only got a year left.
several times, no one cares that you're obese. If you want to sit down and eat pizza and ice cream all day, go ahead,
Yeah, do whatever
okay?
you
We
want.
don't care. People only start making fun of you when you complain about being overweight. You can't cry and whine about thin
The U.S. hates fat people. I bet they do.
privilege when you sit down and eat enough food to feed a family of 4.
Oh my
These people are
God.
so fucking tone deaf it hurts to watch. I've literally seen some accounts on TikTok where they'll go, oh my god, my jeans won't fit, they need to make bigger jeans, and then they'll
Somebody gets too fat for their clothes and they start blaming the store. What the fuck? Wasting food equals terrorism? I mean, for them, I think they believe it.
simultaneously post what I eat in a day, and it's the
I
worst.
love my favorite part about this, bro. Like, look what it went and said. Donut number 1. It's not donut. It's only donut number 1. What? How many?
What I eat in a day, and it's the worst food
Oh my
ever. Like, the
God.
solution to your problem is right there.
French fries and an impossible cheeseburger.
It's on your account, you fucking wanker. But the worst thing these people do is that they'll genuinely convince themselves that there's nothing wrong with being obese.
I don't think this is that big of a problem because I think that this is... I'm an asshole. Everybody knows this. It's natural selection. That's what happens. And if you believe this, it is. And if you think this is what's going to happen, go ahead and believe in it. Delulu, yeah, there it is. This problem solves itself. I wish they died younger, wasting resources. You need to stop thinking that. That's a horrible thing for you to think. Because when they die younger, they actually use less resources. So it's actually not a bad thing because, so basically the way that a lot of medical expenses are incurred within like the last year or really even the last 3 to 1 month of life. So if somebody lives fast and dies hard at 700 pounds at the ripe old age of 29, we saved a lot of money. We did. And so, no, I'm not really going to feel bad about this. No, don't. Hey, listen. Just, you got to think about the math.
We need to go over why that just doesn't make any sense. I've done it before, so I don't think I need to, but I will say that looking like this can, will, and is going to kill you.
Yeah,
and is 100% gonna cause you health issues down the line. Like heart problems, kidney problems, joint problems, bone problems. Do I even need to go on?
Yeah.
I mean, that short list is bad enough, but the full one is pretty fucking bad. Now, I'm not saying that people who aren't fat don't have these problems, but I am saying that if you are fat...
I think here's the problem. This is why everybody fucking gets annoyed by this shit. It's not that... Because, like, there are people... Like, here's the thing. Some people treat their body like a temple. I treat mine like a zoo. I eat fast food every day. I drink soda constantly. I live like an absolute fucking animal. And you know what I don't do? I don't say, hey guys, this is normal. Oh, this is normal. Wow, guys, it's normal. This is just me being normal. Wow, look how normal I am, guys. Fuck out of here. It's insane. That's the reason why people are fucking annoyed. It's not that it's happening, it's that you're trying to tell us it's fucking normal. And I think that's unhealthy. Because young girls see that and they're like, oh, it's okay. No, it's not.
You are much more likely to have these problems. That's not me being fat phobic, that's me using what they taught me back in primary school. Children know this. Most people know this. Even you fat people know this. That's why they love the delusion of fat just being a body type. To which it's not.
Well, it is a body type. Fentanyl is a type of substance. And you know what else is another type of substance? Lettuce. So fentanyl and lettuce are both substances. So what's the difference? Body type C? No, this is body type O.
It comes with many different issues, but
yeah.
Alright. They go as far as to call people fat phobes, which is a pretty rational fear from. They go as far as to
I want to address an argument that's really starting to piss me off.
Call people fat phobes, which
fat phobia is not oppression because fat people can just lose weight. I like how she puts F at T. Do you have a take on why it's only fat women? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. The reason why fat women are trying to push this is because they're trying to normalize their lifestyle. And fat guys don't have the same type of, so as a guy, your appearance is like 40% of why a girl is going to pick you. And I mean, it's general, right? I mean, but for me, it's 39. Shut the fuck up. Just think about what I'm trying to say. It's like 40%, but like as a girl, it's closer to like 60, 70, or 80%. So girls want to normalize being overweight and make being overweight normal. And also this is another, you could say it's hogwash. The belief that back in the day, being fat was considered attractive. This is only true if you take away all of the context to it. The reason why being fat was considered attractive back in the 1700s, for example, is because it was an indicator of wealth. And the wealth was what was attractive. Being fat was just an indicator of it. A lot of people don't know that in medieval times. Yes, exactly. And also, there are plenty of people that like fat chicks. Like, this is obvious. We all know this. So it's not like nobody likes them, but the reason why it's girls is because girls are the ones that want to normalize it because guys don't want to date them. So they're trying to change the way that society sees being overweight, so it's easier for them to get a boyfriend, right? That's basically it.
It's a pretty rational fear, if I'm being honest. No one in their right mind would want to look like this. Absolutely fucking no one. It's just in recent times, there's plenty
of people that do. They're feeders, and there's like feedies. There's like, there's even a breed of that where the sexual satisfaction comes from feeding somebody to the point of death. It's called death feederism, if you want to look it up. Oh yeah. There's a whole iceberg of this. It's more like an anchor, but
weird push into glorifying this stuff. The silly, health it all size, my body is beautiful dog shit that no one actually believes has, for some reason, become a main statement in today's modern media. And it just keeps getting worse.
Well, the problem is that, like, people took it way too far. Like, for a long time, there was this idea that you had to be, like, 120 pounds as a woman. And like, you know, it was, like, based off of, like, Victoria's Secret models, which is, like, in my opinion, I don't really find a lot of those girls particularly attractive, right? That's not, like, my preferred body type. But, and, like, if I think about, like, what are the characters in WoW that look like that? They look like the Nightfallen characters in, what was it? The middle area in Legion. And they look like the Nightfallen people before they got the mana. In Suramar, yeah, like the withered. That's the way they look to me. They look like Victoria's Secret models. And so, yeah, I think they look awful. And so a lot of that was like a trend away from like that beauty standard. But the problem is that it's gone too far in the other direction.
Have the word obese trending on Twitter or X or whatever the fuck people call it nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't care. Now, to everyone who actually enjoys their life and doesn't use Twitter, you're probably wondering, why was the word obese trending? Well, now the word obese, the medical term obese, is considered a slur. Yes, obese is considered.
Oh, she's fat. Yeah, what do you expect? And she's blaming Elon Musk. Where literal slurs are allowed to trend. In Asian countries, the women there are rarely obese. I don't know. I mean, that's what I hear, but I've never been there.
Considered a slur. Yes.
Yeah.
A slur. The word should now be censored and treated
I
like
want to read this. Hold up. Let me read this.
A slur. The word.
Oh, no. Mercedes claims that obesity is a slur used to exact violence on fat people, particularly black, disabled, trans, poor, fat people, and offers a fat ode to care that students are instructed to analyze, taking note of which sections most resonate for you. How much do you guys want to bet that the person who said that originally has a job at a company that is not it is not crucial for that company to produce its product? They have a non-essential job. Yeah, I think this is 100% chance. Yeah. Does that have to be satire? No, it's not.
The word should now be censored
some of them
and
probably
treated
are,
like
right?
the N-word. Honestly, I couldn't make this up even if I tried. Even though I have zero
It's pretty much the
expectations
same
of
thing.
anyone on the internet,
Yeah, guys.
I'm still somehow disappointed.
I can always identify someone who doesn't have a great grasp on history if they see medicalization as a stamp of inherent virtue. This comes up a lot when I talk about how the word obese is a slur. At least one person will always pop their head out of the ground to say, obese is a medical term.
But it quite literally is. It says it right here. It's a medical condition that people can get diagnosed with.
As if that somehow makes it better.
No, that would just not make it a slur. It would make it a medical condition.
You know what else used to be a medical term? Like a lot of bad shit we don't say anymore. Because we realized it was stigmatizing as fuck and it actively harmed people.
You know what else actively harms people?
Well, here's the thing, is that if we change the word obese to being something else, like, I don't know, you can come up with any word, right? It doesn't really matter. People will turn that word into a slur. And the examples of words that were used back in the day as medical distinctions that turned into slurs, the only ones that we really don't use anymore are the ones that were racially motivated, like mongoloid or something like that. We don't use that word anymore because that's a racially charged word. It's a bad thing to say. You don't say that. And so at least, like, you know, most people don't say it. It's been changed. Autism, right, exactly. And so there are other examples of this, but I think that's probably the best one. Maybe retard, yeah.
People, obesity. You fucking twat. And unlike words, obesity actually harms people on a biological level. And even if you call it something else like round or big-bodied or morbidly obtuse, it's not gonna change the fucking issue. Because it's not—
people are just gonna use whatever word that you use as an insult. It doesn't matter. It's like you're just moving the goalposts and obfuscating things so you can make it seem like people can't say what your lifestyle is bad. That's the only thing they're doing.
Derogatory term, it's a health problem. People are still gonna suffer from obesity whether you call it obesity or not. My god.
Well, I would expect, actually, if you keep changing the name of it, that you know, it actually becomes harder for people to deal with. Right? I mean, like, think about, for example, like how many times they've changed, like PTSD wasn't originally called PTSD. You know, they used to call it in World War I shell shock. And I think that like the constant changing of that term, this is a George Carlin thing, right? Is that the constant changing of that term was done, and I think it did a disservice to veterans because it was like you're resetting the awareness of the issue.
Never thought I'd ever have to explain that.
Science and language are both constantly evolving and updating. The medical establishment is not exempt from this.
Science isn't necessarily updating. Our understanding of science is updating. These are two very different things.
Anything, it's actually a particularly strong example of how this happens. We don't need to look too far back into history at all to see how medical terminology and practices change.
Yeah, well, that's due to a little known fact called technology. The reason why medical practices change is
because something else,
due to technological advances.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they didn't have technology to pinpoint each medical issue. But now...
No, that's not even the reason. The real reason why it's changed is because the better, more effective solution was discovered. That's the reason why it gets changed. So it's like, yeah, this is really bad. Okay, maybe we should wash our hands because we've done testing and we have done experimentation that has led us to this conclusion.
We do, and with that knowledge, we can tell that being morbidly obese is not good for you.
Yeah.
For example, homosexuality is no longer diagnosed as a mental illness. Female hysteria is not something that's diagnosed anymore.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
Ah, yes. Two psychological thought processes which don't inherently kill you. You know, guys, I think I'm starting to see the relation between that and having plaque literally cover your organs. Yeah, they're definitely the same thing.
Cocaine and heroin are no longer prescribed as anesthetics or cough suppressants. Lysol cleaning spray is no longer used as a douche. We don't perform ice pick lobotomies anymore. And doctors no longer advocate for the health benefits of smoking cigarettes. Oops.
You know, it's almost
That's because every single one of those circumstances, there was testing, experimentation, and peer-reviewed research that arrived at the conclusion that these things were bad. That's why they were changed. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
like there's a way for doctors to tell if there's something biologically harmful to you.
Yeah.
I wonder if they can still do that. Oh well, I guess not. Is her argument here that science is just outdated and that there's nothing unhealthy about being overweight? Because if that's the case, then she'd be wrong. The same way.
Well, I mean, these are the people, like, you can't expect somebody like this. Like, here's the thing. I remember back whenever I was in school, and there were a lot of girls in the school, and guys too. It's not really a girl thing. They just dumb as fuck. Like, they're not going to understand a periodic table. They don't know what gravity is. They don't know how to do multiplication. This person is like, 150 years ago, 1,500 years ago, this person would be perfect for taking big rocks and turning them into little rocks with a big rock. They would be great for this. But now society has evolved in a way that this person has no outlet. So what do? They make videos justifying being fat on TikTok. That's the next best thing.
We know smoking cigarettes is bad is the same way that we know overeating is bad.
Yeah.
You'd expect a fully grown adult to know this.
It's crazy.
More importantly, when a marginalized group tells you that a word or practice harms them, you can just go ahead and believe them.
Oh, God.
No. I'm not going to allow somebody to dictate what I think. So because you're fat, I have to listen to you? Nope. Nope. I don't think so. It's just about it.
I love alcohol. I love me some alcohol. Listen, buddy, I'm glad to have you at the bar and all, but I think you've had too much. I think you might be an alcoholic. Hey, you can't say that word. That word is a slur. I don't appreciate that word. That word is very harmful. Listen, I'm sorry, man. I know the word alcoholic might be harsh, but this is your 13th drink. I think you might have had too many. No! No, I fucking haven't. You know what? I'm sick and tired of people using that derogatory term against me. I don't think you understand just how harmful that word is to me. So pour me another fucking pint or else I'm gonna put my boot up your bollocks. Dude, you're an alcoholic. It doesn't matter what word I use here. The problem is this guy drinks too fucking much. I don't understand how people
By the way, here's another little fun fact here, is that the Guinness Book of World Records actually no longer takes in records for fat animals because it was creating an encouragement for people to overfeed their pets, which was considered animal abuse. Yeah.
too fucking much. I don't understand how people can argue against this. My point here is you can call it whatever you want, it's not gonna change the fact that obesity is an underlying medical condition. And if you view that as offensive, well then that kinda contradicts your entire fat liberation argument. I thought it was okay to be morbidly obese. Why is it now all of a sudden a word that shouldn't be said?
Just a reminder that I am very fat and very sexy, and I am 100% glorifying obesity.
Go ahead, do whatever you want. Now, I'm sure there's probably some dude out there that thinks that she's hot, and go ahead. Like, I don't care. Yeah, you want to be fat? Go ahead, be fat. Like, yeah. What's the problem with that? Like, I mean, I don't care. Like, now, I don't want to hear about, like, how, like, the thing is, yeah, that's fine. The problem is, like, it's not that you're fat. Like, you be fat all you want. Who cares? But I just don't want to hear about how it's healthy.
Oh my god. She just said the O word. Twitter, cancel her.
No, they can say that. It's like the N word. They can say it. We can't say it. They can say it.
Seriously, what are the rules
it's
here?
Their word,
is it bad? Is it good? Is it a word that no one should ever say? Because if so, then I have a few replacement suggestions. FatTok, feel free to contact me. But this all just feels like they're just ignoring their health. Like one big everyone close your ears and go la 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 la, I don't want to hear the obese word. To which, okay, fine, but that's not gonna change the fact this word. To which, okay, fine, but that's
Is this your seat?
Not
Jesus. Not anymore. Oh my god.
Gonna change the fact that you are obese. Oh, sorry. I meant you're plus sized. And so is the plaque in your arteries. Good luck with heart disease.
Obesity is a noun, and it doesn't describe how large something is.
Well, actually,
Obesity is a noun. True. Obesity is actually a defined amount, and that's how bodybuilders are classified as obese.
the word obese is an adjective. And is a word used
that's how
to
you
describe
have morbidly obese. Because that's also a definition, which is 100 pounds above the normal weight.
a large human being. So, no, you're wrong.
Yeah, it's not even true. Yes.
We don't say that that house is obese.
The word obese is used to describe people, genius.
The term obesity comes with judgment, not a
Well, of
judgment.
course it's a judgment. Obesity is a judgment. It's like you're obese. You've just been judged. This is true. That's accurate.
Of the size of that person, but of how they became large.
What are you
Wait, what?
Of that person, but of how they became judgment. Not a judgment of the size of that person, but of how they became large.
What are
What?
you talking about? By definition, it literally is used to describe how large someone is. At this point, you're just throwing in random shit in to make it sound like you know what you're talking about. The word obese is a chronic disease that impairs health, okay? You can try and shift the definition all you want, saying all this fucking judgment.
Bro, she's talking about Latin. How are you talking about Latin, bro? Like, which puts the blame on the larger person as if food carries moral value. I got a new Mr. Beast idea. It's a weight loss. It's going to be it's a weight loss area, right? And so what you do is you put a big open air place and have the walls just be like 6 feet tall. So you can see some of them and you can just like look down on them, and you can put a bunch of people that are really, really fat in this area, and you can put inside of the area small holes that if they get thin enough and they lose enough weight, they can escape. And then the last one to leave gets a free like surgery to have like their like that stomach surgery done. Right? It's like it's a battle royale. Yeah, exactly. And so, because like, you know, Call Boogie. Yeah, that's cool. I know. I think this is a really good idea. This is how Mr. Beast could rebuild the brand. You could call it the Hunger Games.
Judgment bullshit. But it's not gonna change the fact that being obese is bad for you. It's not neutral, it's fucking bad for you.
Yeah, it is.
Word comes from Latin, meaning to overeat, which puts the blame on the larger person.
Where else is the blame supposed to go?
Well, it's obviously the patriarchy. It's got to be it's Elon Musk, Donald Trump. Let's see, what else? There's probably like the school system. I mean, there's got to be a lot of reasons, right?
Me? Is it my fault that you can't go outside without—
Wait, what is this here? What does it say? Bro, I love reading these. I really do. Accessibility is for everyone. No one feels so ashamed or embarrassed for using the tools and needs to navigate the world. Okay, true.
Can't go outside without—
Your worth is not determined by your size or ability. You deserve to feel uncomfortable and confident wherever you go. Well, good for you.
a fucking scooter? Or is it your fault because you refuse to eat a salad once in a while?
As if food carries moral value. It doesn't, and we should stop using this word.
Well, obviously it doesn't hold moral value, it's just food. The food itself isn't the problem here. The problem is when you eat 3,000 to 4,000 calories of it every day.
Jesus.
You can change the word all you want, the problem is still gonna be there. You fucking idiot.
Yeah, these are people, they change the word on it, they think it's gonna convince people it's different.
I don't like that word, can we change it? Mate, the word's not the
What you have to understand is that if it wasn't for McDonald's, that, well, here's what happens, right? Is like McDonald's puts out these advertisements and they say like, if you go to McDonald's, you're going to get good food. And so then they have to go to McDonald's. That's what happens. Yeah. So it's really not even their fault. It's like, why don't you get mad at McDonald's for putting out these advertisements, getting everybody to think this?
fucking problem. The problem is that your internal organs probably look like Indian street food. You're the size of 3 people and most of you—
Well, the problem is that you want people to ignore it. I don't care how big your fucking organs are. You want to be fat? Go ahead and be fat. You want to be fat as a motherfucker? Go ahead and do it. You want to do that? That sounds great. But I just do not want to fucking hear about how it's okay. About how it is normal. It's not fucking normal. You think people evolved from monkeys. Monkeys can climb a tree. Can they climb a tree? No, bro. They're a mountain. It's not going to happen.
Can't even sit down in a chair. You want to change the word to round, you want it to be plus size, you want it to be fucking morbid. It doesn't make a difference because the health problems that obesity cause are still gonna be there. Oh god, these people are so brain dead.
Why is it offensive to call someone fat who is fat?
Hello, certified fat person here.
Ah, god, you know, at this point I can just—
Sometimes you just have to look at them and you know what it's gonna be. You just you know what it's gonna be, bro. Like,
tell what kind of response I'm gonna get just from looking at them. I don't even
you know what she is? She's the target audience for Concord.
like using this word, but this is literally the Karen haircut.
It
okay,
is.
well,
It
let's
absolutely
hear
is.
this one out.
And I'm more than happy to answer your question if you really do want an answer, which I'm not so sure you do.
Just get on with it.
To start, I refer to myself as fat, and I don't care if other people refer to me as fat, and that's because I don't see the word fat as a bad word. Even if someone tries to insult me by saying you're fat, my response is yes and.
I mean, yeah, she's not wrong.
right.
It's not
Yeah,
a
she's
bad
right.
word. It's
Yeah.
just a pretty bad health condition. And also, if that's the case, then why the fuck does everyone
I'm also not a big fan of, like, so if somebody is like being mean to somebody for being fat is fundamentally being mean. And I don't agree that a lot of the cases where it's like, oh, well, we're fat shaming you because we want you to lose weight. No, you're fat shaming her because you think it's funny. And I think that's, you want to do that, go ahead and do that. It's fine. But don't go and act like you're trying to help anybody out here.
get so upset about the word obese? Is it
Yeah.
because obese sounds worse than fat? I mean, it does, but
I can think
they
of
both
way
lead
worse
to the same
ones than that.
conclusion. Heart disease.
It took a lot of work to get to this point, and that's because, like many other words in our language, the word fat has a dark history where it has been used to belittle, insult, and dehumanize.
Well,
But
yeah,
for-
but you don't really think that because then you call yourself fat. So, like, you really think that?
For the most part, to educate, because being
Yeah.
fat is not a good thing. It's not a fucking body type like in a video game. No,
Yeah.
it actually has consequences in real life. The way you talk about being fat is like it's like being short or having a big nose or having
Yeah.
big lips or some shit like that. Those are inherent characteristics which you can't change. You are just literally killing yourself.
So for a lot of people, it's very difficult to shake this history when they hear the word fat.
Because it's an inherently bad thing. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, bone and joint issues, digestion issues. Do I even need to go on?
And if you want the word fat to be used in the same way as skinny, thin, fit, then you need to use
See,
it.
here's the thing for me is like, this is a bit of a chip on my shoulder. I'm going to be honest, is that growing up, I was always, look at me, I'm still very, very fucking skinny, right? I'm still very skinny. Growing up, I was also very skinny. I would be made fun of very regularly for being skinny. People would call me names. They would say all kinds of things about me. Now, it would bother me. Nowadays, it doesn't because now they're in their 30s just like I am, and their knees hurt because they're fat, and I'm not, and I don't have that problem. So, too bad. But back then, and so like I got made fun of all the time for being really, really skinny. I did very regularly. People would say stuff like that about me. Yes.
in a way that's not derogatory, which quite frankly,
Somebody said, did you get called a Holocaust survivor? I didn't. You want to know why? Because we didn't learn about the Holocaust until like, I don't know, maybe like the second half of senior year. And people are like, damn, bro, so they kill all... Damn, that's crazy. Wow. Oh, what? Damn. Yeah, we didn't even know what the fuck that was. Millie, damn.
you did not do in your video. So if someone you deem fat prefers to refer to their body as curvy or plus size, they have every reason in the world to do so, and
Yeah.
you need to respect it. Thanks.
What?
I think that it is like you... So... I swear to God, like there's a big difference. So like plus sized is like basically the same as being fat, right? But curvy is not being fat. This is not the same thing. Everybody knows this. Why are we talking about it? True, thank you. Yes, exactly. Thick. Well, there's thick, there's slim thick, and then there's extra thick, and it's pretty obvious which one each one means, right? I would say thick and curvy are pretty much equivalent in a lot of cases. But you know, I hate this. This is, you know what this is? It's false advertising. Okay? That's what's going on here. And if you didn't know, false advertising is illegal.
Difference does it make? Listen, mate, if you'd rather be called plus size, then yeah, whatever, sure, fine. The problems you get from
Fat
obesity
people are allowed to live whatever they want without feeling guilty over it. I wonder what she's wearing on her face.
are still gonna be there. How many times do I need to say the same thing before it drills into your abnormally large head? Whether you call it obese or not, it's still gonna be not good. But I guess this rational use of logic can't be expected from FatTok. I mean, they all collectively thought—
Well, they are. The thing is that, do you remember what Boogie was getting mad at me for earlier about how I said the narcissism thing and the selfishness thing? Remember that? How about that? How about that? That's crazy, isn't it?
it was a good idea to call themselves FatTok, for fuck's sake. But another app that rational thought process can't be given to is Twitter. Obviously. I feel like anyone familiar with Twitter could have probably guessed that at this point. No one uses their brains on there. People even found a way to find political discourse in a McDonald's advert. The people of Twitter—
That was stupid, man. Like, I remember that, the McDonald's Japan advertisement. That was fucking that was a crazy few days.
even got mad at PewDiePie for being a happy, loving father.
You know, karma's a bitch, if not a myth, because if anyone deserves to suffer horribly, it's this Swedish piece of shit. With an AI-generated picture of a space marine from Warhammer 40k. Like, what the fuck? What?
This app is actually hell. Like, actually fucking hell. I refuse to believe that anyone who uses this app is happy in real life. But of course, if they can make big issues—
Twitter is my strongest argument for making the internet 18 plus.
out of literally nothing, I don't see how—
What are these? I want to read this again. There are a lot of ads in the West that depict happy families with small kids, but they are not designed to appeal to online Nazi perverts, so you don't notice them. Right. This, I can see why.
I don't see
that's
how
for
any
Nazis.
of these are controversial by any means. But you wouldn't believe the fucking uproar when it comes to the word obese. Now, I look at dumb people all day. I look at silly people all day. And even I've got to put my hands up and say, these are some of the dumbest fucking retards on earth. FatTok is one thing, but Twitter is another fucking planet, man. Babe, obesity is a medical slur. Love your body. If you want to exercise and eat healthier, that's great. But don't be scammed and bullied into making yourself smaller. There is nothing wrong with being fat. Well,
then why didn't you post a picture of yourself as your profile picture? Why not? I don't know. Who knows?
I fucking beg to differ. This shit kills people, you know. But I guess my main question here is, how is weight loss a scam? I mean, yeah, sure, there are some—
Well, it's simple because you know, well, here's why it's a scam. Is that girl probably went to the grocery store and she saw the magazine with Dr. Oz on it, and it said, take this pill and you can eat donuts all day and you're going to lose 120 pounds and you're going to be skinny. And she buys the pill and she takes it and it doesn't work. And she's like, what the fuck? The Great Oz buying hope. That's what happened. I bet, yeah, she got scammed by Dr. Oz.
Shady weight loss practices, but for the most part, the weight loss journey itself is always a good thing. It's good for your heart, joints, mobility, overall health. You get to live longer. You actually get to sit down in chairs and you don't have to worry about a weight capacity. And you can actually walk without having to waddle around like a fucking penguin. This isn't bullying, this is just facts. Oh wait, sorry. Sorry about that. I forgot I wasn't supposed to use rational thinking when talking to someone who uses Twitter. My apologies. When you see the fatphobic slur obesity, replace the word in your mind with fat people or fat children, and then see how the headline or proposal reads.
Better. Here, I'll do one myself. People with morbidly obese fat children should have their kids taken away from them and be charged with child abuse or neglect. How about that? Seems pretty fair to me. Yeah, how about that?
Oh god. Anything you propose to do about the fatphobic slur obesity is something you're proposing to do to fat people. And the reason why the word is a slur is because it makes you forget that fat people are people. Okay.
Oh god. Oh god, like this is amazing. How does this, where do these people come from? This is amazing. It's how do you do this?
Hey, no, mate. No. Whenever someone makes the statement that they want to get rid of obesity, they're talking about the illness obesity. They want to get rid of what
so this person thinks they're gonna like, yeah, we're gonna round up all the fat people and we're gonna shoot them. Who the fuck said that? What are you talking about?
these people have and not the people, because they will live a lot shorter lives if they don't get rid of it. Obesity isn't a group of people, it's a health condition. Whenever someone says I want to get rid of cancer, they're not saying they want to kill
kill every kid with cancer. We're gonna end cancer in children. We're gonna get them all together and we're gonna shoot them. There's gonna be no more kids with cancer. Who the fuck thinks like this?
everyone with cancer. They're saying they want to get rid of the illness. You
This
idiot.
is like, that's like the logic that a fucking anime protagonist has. It's like a dumber version of Thanos.
Don't even try and defend the fatphobic slur obesity by saying it's a medical term. It's a medical slur. Is that even a thing?
God.
Is a medical slur even real? It's either you have the condition or you don't. I don't see how that can be derogatory. It's the word doctors use to deny fat people medical care. Yeah, we know it's used in medicine, causing they're using it to...
Yeah, we know it. I think that what they're trying to say is that maybe the medicine is killing them.
Kill us. What? You know what? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Whenever a doctor gives a fat person health advice, they just denying them healthcare. Yeah,
they want them to die.
I hate
That's
the term
right.
so much. It's so dehumanizing.
What do we have here? Another anime profile picture of a skinny, pretty girl. It's crazy how, like, the dissonance can be right in front of you and you can't see it.
Felt like a fucking specimen when I read the note my doctor wrote for me in order to get reasonable accommodations at work. You know, just getting a little bit silly here. You can do things in your life. I don't know what they are. I don't know what they could possibly be. There are some things out there which can help you lose weight, okay? I don't know what they could possibly be, but they are out there.
Nobody knows. It's an unravelable tapestry of life that nobody can even begin to understand. The human body is full of mysteries, and we've only begun to discover the surface. It's a medical mystery. It's unknowable. There's nothing that you can do.
So if you don't like being obese, then you could maybe give it a try. Just an idea. The term obese is a slur. Violent, dehumanizing, it's anti-black. Well,
It's anti-black. The only implication that you could make with that is racist. That's crazy. Wow.
As a colored crayon myself, I don't see how. How can a biological health condition be racist? I am losing.
It's simple. It's because that's a bad word, and the bad people have all the bad words, and so they're bad.
Faith in our species. Hey skinnies, the word obesity is a fat-phobic slur. Stop interacting with posts that use it as a way to combat fatness. I fucking hate y'all for that shit.
Look at this, another cute, in-shape anime girl. I wonder if she's fat. I bet she's not.
If you're not fat, stay out of fat people's business. And if you disagree, literally block me.
I love how, like, the idea is that, like, fat people are, like, another... It's like an interest group, right? You have, like, Asian Americans, white people, black people, and then you have fat people. It's like a protected class. Yeah, exactly. It's another species. I guess it's crazy. It's a race? Yeah. Well, it's not, but you know.
Okay, well, you're gonna fucking die. See you later, bro. Calm down, calm down, calm down. It's a joke. It's a joke. Kind of. The term obese is a slur because it is used to dehumanize and harass us. It's not because our feelings are hurt by an accurate description. Well, it is, because I don't see how it could be anything else. It is an outdated term that does more harm than good. And as such, it should be eradicated. That's it. I've said it many times before and I'll say it again. Just because you get rid of the word doesn't mean you get rid of what it actually is. The causes and effects of obesity are still going to be a thing whether you call it...
No, but like if you think about it from their perspective, that if you stop calling people fat, maybe being fat will go away and it will become normal. Because like that's the way they're thinking of it. That's what it is. Why are we acting like these insane opinions to less than 0.01% population are worth talking about? So the reason why it's problematic is that these people put themselves in positions of authority, and then they use this thinking to dictate what other people can and can't say. These are the people that work at your HR office who are constantly trying to call you in, that are mad at you for making some harmless joke. These are the people who are unreasonable and they want everybody else in the world to accommodate their unreasonable behavior. So I think that's the reason why I don't want to be told what to think by these people. They're fucking annoying. Actually true. Yeah, that's the reason why. I mean, what are we even talking about? It's a loud minority. And here's the other problem, right? Is that people accommodate this because they think that they're being nice. Oh yeah, let's be nice. You know what I think is also nice? I think that next time, you know, Cletus the crackhead needs another hit of heroin or fentanyl, I'm just going to give it to him. Because, like, look, if he wants it, I'm being a nice guy. I'm just being a nice guy. I mean, there it is.
Obesity or not. How hard is this to understand? It's almost like education is illegal wherever you people are from. My god. Mercedes claims that obesity is a slur used to exact violence on fat people, particularly black, disabled, trans, poor fat people. Oh god, I'm starting to genuinely...
They're doing the, they're like, this is like whenever I would say something bad, I can never just be a racist. I have to be a homophobic, racist, misogynist, transphobe. Like, they can never play with one piece. They have to use the entire Exodia.
I genuinely feel my brain melt at some of this bullshit. What are you talking about? Honestly, what are you talking about? A medical term used to diagnose people is now claimed to be violent. This can't be real life. They want to be victims so badly. It's so fucking cringe. You'll never see anyone defend anorexia or chain smoking like this. So why
No, it's gross. And I think this is the wanting to be a victim thing is a huge, huge issue.
They do it for obesity. God, this is so fucking weird. Now, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
claim to be a medical professional by any means, because I'm really not. I only studied anatomy, physiology, and nutrition for around a year in college, right? But even with the little amounts of information I have on the subject, I still have more than enough knowledge to claim that being morbidly obese is not a good thing. It's not like a neutral body type like in a video game which has no impact on your gameplay. No, it's not like that. It's a serious medical condition and is terrible for your health. You don't even need to study anything to understand that. I feel like most people can tell what a healthy body looks like compared to an unhealthy one. As long as you have more than 2 lines on your brain, then you should be able to know this. And yet, we have these people. But not only has this ideology seeped itself onto TikTok and Twitter, but it's also seeped itself into actual medical professionals.
No.
Honestly, I wish I was joking.
If you are obese, please don't ever let a doctor or a healthcare provider tell you that you need to lose weight before they investigate further a symptom that you're having.
Great point. He's totally right. That doctor is 100% right. He is. He's totally right. Absolutely.
Have to be just a guy in a costume, okay? There is no way you have a medical license. Oh my days.
No, I think this was cut out of context. It was. And I think that obviously if you let him explain his point of view, that it would make perfect sense. Because there are instances where people are dismissed because like any problem they have is because they're overweight, and the doctors do dismiss them based off of that, and they don't do further testing. And in fact, the problem could be something different, and it's not being treated properly. This is a huge problem with diagnoses and treatment, and it's absolutely valid and completely true.
Dare a medical healthcare provider provide medical healthcare? That's just ridiculous. If you are clinically diagnosed with obesity, then you should lose the weight. If a medical
Absolutely, but it doesn't necessarily mean that every other ailment that you have is a direct outcome of that obesity, right? I think that's what the person is saying, which makes sense.
professional tells you to do so,
it seems out of context.
then you should probably do so. A reliable medical professional who actually uses biology, not this bellend.
If they want to delay getting a lab or getting imaging or having you see a specialist, if they want to delay that because they say you need to lose weight first, you need to push back on that person.
She's right.
Or you need to find someone else.
Yeah, true.
Why? If you're obese and you're suffering from symptoms and you decide to lose the weight, there is a high possibility that those symptoms can lessen down, making treatment...
It is. There is a possibility, but the possibility is not 100%. And I think that it's high enough to where it's worth doing a test and to check and see.
A lot easier for everyone involved. Any doctor in their right state of mind would understand this.
Because your health problems are not just blamed on your obesity or the
Which is
amount of
very
fat
true.
tissue that you have.
Yeah, you graduated on Roblox, bro.
Yeah, no, it definitely is the case. That is absolutely true. He's right.
There's no fucking way you have a master's degree. This may be news.
Somebody brought up a really good point in chat. They said, have you ever noticed that all of the people that are promoting obesity are really young? That is interesting. Because I think that you're right. I didn't see a lot of older people that were promoting obesity. I wonder why. Maybe I know why, guys. It's because older people don't use YouTube as much.
To you,
that must be the reason.
But being fat
no, that's the reason.
Is a health issue.
For sure.
And will be the cause of 99% of the problems these people have. You'd like...
Not 99%, right? But like, it's like usually, this is like, for example, like COVID, right? Like COVID was a really good example of a lot of the people that got killed by COVID, they were overweight. A lot of them were, right? And it's like being fat is like it's like having 5 stacks of Sunder armor, okay? So, like, if you have 5 stacks of Sunder armor, a attack that would maybe do, like, 100 damage to you would now do 200 damage, right? It's like a debuff, right? In PoE, it's like now you have elemental weakness. Now you have, like, reduced armor. Now you have, like, damage taken increase, right? It's a debuff. And so if something hits you with that debuff on, well, now it's going to be doing enhanced damage.
To believe a doctor would know this.
You are allowed to have other health problems
True.
as well, and you deserve the respect and dignity of investigating those other symptoms as well.
True. Completely agree with the guy. Totally agree with him.
Yeah, but what about the main symptom that is visible? Are you serious? If this person
Well, they're
walks
not
into
mutually exclusive.
your office and says, "Oh, doc, my joints hurt," are you gonna say, "Oh, let me go investigate that further"? No, idiot. The problem is pretty obvious. It doesn't need much investigation. You'd like to,
Bro, they push her? Are you kidding me? Oh my god. No, bro.
You'd like to believe a medical professional would understand this, but clearly not. Jeez, man. Us evolving backwards really was an understatement. We've got people genuinely walking around thinking that there's absolutely nothing wrong with being morbidly obese. And there's even people thinking we shouldn't even say the word obese.
Yeah, I think that, again, like, the doctor part, I actually agree with the doctor. I think the doctor is right. And I think that there could be big issues that... Obviously, obesity is like a major health problem and it should be addressed, but obesity doesn't always 100% of the time explain every symptom a person would be having. And that's why you have those other tests. Like, that's, of course, the reason why. Can we still say morbidly obese, right? For now. Yeah. Why is this topic only a thing in the USA? Because in the USA, there's a lot of identity politics issues. So people try to figure out ways to put themselves into identity groups, which is one of the reasons why I think that a lot of the people there are fat white women, is because obviously as a white person, you don't have any sort of like, what do you call it? Like a marginalized identity. And I think that people like that want to have a marginalized identity. So they look for ways that they can make themselves marginalized. And so they don't have to acknowledge that they're living with the most privilege that any person has ever experienced in the history of time. But they don't want to think about that. They want to find a way to victimize themselves. So that's the reason why it happens.
Also simultaneously thinking
and
that
I understand that this is a very mean thing to say. And this is, it's maybe I get a little bit too real here. But this is absolutely what's happening, and everybody knows it.
Nothing wrong with being obese, but if that's the case, then why shouldn't we be able to say it? I mean, is it a slur? Is it liberating? Is it fat phobic? I don't even fucking know anymore. Every time I try and understand this stuff, I just get a headache. But there you have it. Modern society. Calling people who are objectively unhealthy is now derogatory. And the word obesity should now be censored, but at the same time should be liberated and celebrated, and just, I give up. Every time I come back to this plus size agenda, it just makes less and less sense. But anyways, guys, this is in fact the end of the video.
Well, it makes perfect sense if you think about it from the perspective of I'm doing everything I can to justify my behavior that I've already decided to do. So you're thinking about it from the logic of why does this make sense? But stop thinking about making sense and start thinking about making excuses, and now it makes a lot more sense.
If you liked, please leave a like, and if you didn't, then feel free to degrade me in the comments. I hope my braces and newfound speech didn't affect the video too much, but if it did, then sorry about that. I'm still in my...
Somebody brings up a really good point. I'm gonna pull this one up in chat. There's actually a positive chatter. Imagine that. Being fat was a status symbol centuries back as a sign of an overabundance of resources. So unless the cause is medical, being fat is a privilege. That is actually that is an insane 4D chess. That the fact that you're overweight is evidence of your privilege. Bro, like that's, oh my God. I feel like that's a whole new strategy. That's crazy. I love it. Oh man.
adapting phase, so I'm not fully normal just yet. But like I said earlier, I had to make this video. There was no way I was ignoring this. But yeah, hopefully next video I don't sound like fucking Timmy Turner. But with all that said, all my links and socials are in the description. Feel free to follow me on anything. I hope all of you guys did enjoy the video. But until next time, make sure to drink your water and get enough sleep at night. Okay, goodbye.
You know why being overweight is one of the smartest things you could do?
Why is that?
Just imagine a zombie apocalypse and there's no food left. Overweight people keep all the food in their belly. Therefore,
Then why do you eat more of it?
they would live longer than people who aren't overweight.
Yeah. Good luck outrunning any living creature. There's no way you actually think that being overweight in a zombie apocalypse is a good idea. And, side note, zombies aren't real, okay? You just threw your health in the garbage for a fictional story. It doesn't get any dumber than that.
Oh god. Ain't that something, man? That's crazy. Why are you thinking about zombies, bro? Like she being fat thinking about zombies. Rule number 1 of Zombieland: cardio. I remember that. I watched this in movie. I watched that in movie theaters. You don't understand how far the rabbit hole goes. Some fat people think that getting rid of obesity kills fat culture, and they call it a fat genocide. A fat genocide. I wonder. So, like, here's the thing, right? Let's do a thought experiment. Would I think the guy's name was Polk. I think the guy that made the polio vaccine. Would people say that he was doing a genocide of polio culture? Like if it was in today's day and age. Like, I wonder, right? Because, like, that sounds so stupid. But that doesn't mean it can't be true. I mean, fuck, I feel like that means it probably would be true. If it benefited them, they would say literally anything. I'm sure someone, yeah. The thing with this kind of stuff to me is that I think it does do really bad damage to, like, young people. And you see also, by the way, the reason why there's no older fat people in these videos is because they're dead. That's why. If you get fat, you're going to die early. And that's why all of them are like 25 or 29 or something like that. It's because they usually pop off at about, like, 40 to 50 or so. And then, that's just the way things go. And so why is that happening? And so if somebody wants to do that, then I think that's their right. This is their right as an American to be 700 pounds. It is. It's their right. But the moment that you go and you start telling people that it's a normal lifestyle, that this is something that just happens to you, and it like, basically it's the messaging of the, like, the helplessness that people have to it that I think is very unhealthy. And I think this is true with any type of unhealthy behavior, whether this is like drinking soda, not good for you. Drinking alcohol, not good for you. Smoking cigarettes, not good for you. Vaping, not good for you. Now, it's not that bad, but it's still not good for you. You'd be better off if you didn't do it. Other than like a few things with like weed, probably not good for you either, unless it's like medically needed. So in many cases, there are a lot of things that people do that are not good for you. And the problem isn't that they do them. The problem is that they do them and then they want to be admired for it. This is a good video. They want to be admired and celebrated for doing something that hurts them. Fill the lungs with shit? Yeah, I mean, there it is. You got to look up the plus stores in Asia. They got no chill. I saw it, man. Yeah, I did see that. Anything inhaled besides oxygen is harmful? Yeah, I guess so. Try and analyze stupid. Well, it's about, and again, also, it's just narcissistic people that are looking for reasons to justify their bad behavior and make other people sorry for it. right? They want to tell other people what to do, what to think, what they can't say. Meanwhile, they're just not controlling themselves. The problem is that unhealthy choices are oftentimes the most cheaper than healthy choices. In Denmark, they have a sugar tax on all sweet products. It works. You see, like, I don't even entirely believe that because there's a lot of produce that's pretty cheap. Like, I don't think that's true. As somebody who's been to a grocery store before, that's not really true. If you cook produce and you buy raw produce and you make the produce, you are probably going to come out ahead than if you're just eating bags of Cheetos. It's really not. Yeah, it's a fat cope. That's what it is. This is like, oh, well, I'm fat because I'm poor. No, you're not. Go look at actual poor people in India and in Africa. Are they fat? No, they're not. You're not fat because you're poor. It's just that simple. Poor people are skinny? Yeah, poor, actual, like real poor people are skinny. It's crazy. Getting to the produce, though, urban areas do not have grocery stores. Is the cost of quality of food, poverty, and obesity are correlated? Yeah, of course they are. But you know what else is correlated? Education and obesity, I bet. I bet there's a lot of dumb people because they're not educating themselves. They're dumb as fuck, and they don't know what the hell's going on. It is, yeah. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? Poverty and obesity? Yeah. Of fucking course, but just because it's correlated, like, have you ever thought that maybe these same bad decision-making pattern that caused somebody to get fat would also cause them to be poor? Like, I don't know. I feel like that kind of makes a lot of sense. Also, again, a lot of times being overweight is probably it's people that are willing to do things that are self-indulgent. And guess what? You do that if you're trying to make money and it's not too good. That's what I think.